Hello, everyone. Welcome to another DCU Daily. Here we are. We're talking about a lot of stuff, a lot of news today, mainly trailers. Lots and lots and lots of trailers we are going to be talking about today because, oh boy, got inundated with a lot of TV stuff today. So we're going to be talking about that. But not just trailers, but we are also going to be talking about a lot of movies, like the things that the trailers are leading up to. A lot of movies today. We got 3 movies and a TV episode today. So that's a lot of stuff too. Got a little bit of other new stuff, and then got to talk some MCU news a little bit as well. And then, of course, we're going to be getting into DCU Daily. We're going to be talking about Gunn not being able to figure out Batman. It's definitely reeking of Feige not being able to figure out Blade. It's not hard, guys, but we'll be talking about that later. But before I filibuster too long, let's get into the show proper by letting Ryan Gosling show us where it comes. It doesn't seem to matter what I do.
Number 2.
All right, Mr. I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding.
You're
kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. And you're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the world needs now.
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Here we are. Let's get into it. But hello, I'm John. Nice to meet people if you're new, but nice to see all the regulars. Well, one regular, Enterprising, coming into the chat early, very early, like 15 minutes early. We love to see it, Enterprising. So glad you could make it. But happy to see all of the other people that are joining us on this wonderful Tuesday evening. I greatly apologize, but here we are. But I am not alone. And we got someone today that's a hell of a lot better to look at than Dan. Lizz is in the chat. Lizz is on the show. So very wonderful. Lizz, how are you doing today?
I'm well. I am well. Hi, Enterprising. Hi, everybody. Excited to be here. It's a lovely day.
Ooh, you sound more chipper than usual. That's nice.
I've been seeing movies. Oh, and I'm on vacation, so that helps.
That definitely helps. But before we get into all of the movie and TV talk, let's get into some controversy. Maybe, I don't know. It's like, we'll just get through this quickly and then just kind of move on. It's not really controversy. It's just, I will say Chris Columbus is being very agmatic about it all, just being very like hands off. But we are going to be getting into Harry Potter. We've been getting a lot of Harry Potter news. Yesterday, Dan and I were talking about the behind the scenes set photos of the Weasley family at Platform 9 3/4. We saw good looks at Ron and the twins and Ginny and Molly Weasley. So very, very wonderful to see. So we are now going to be talking about Chris Columbus getting into his thoughts on the Harry Potter show. He says that he's not going to be involved. He doesn't really want to be involved. That part of his life is over, and he's just kind of wants to focus on, I don't know, Christmas Chronicles 3 or whatever the hell he's working on. So, but he also touched upon the whole J.K. Rowling thing because, of course, now the controversy and the show and the franchise now has to go hand in hand. That he just is kind of like, you know what, kind of what Tom Felton was saying way earlier, where he's like, you know, it's sad. It's very, I mean, you can see right here, he says it's very sad. We just have to kind of separate the art from the artist. I don't support her and her views, but I just know that I loved my work on Harry Potter. I'm still proud of it. and I still, love like reading it to my kids and whatnot. So, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that's too hands off? Do you think he should have said something more, or do you
No,
think he should have, I don't know, not said anything at all?
I mean, it's hard, right? At the time when he was a part of all of that, she hadn't made any of those comments, right? She
Right.
waited until after all of the deals were done, after all the films were made, and then she was kind of, had carte blanche because she had a pile of money to rest her laurels upon. So I think it's hard for anybody who is essentially so close and in projects like that to then have to turn around and be like, oh, that sucks. That's not the person that I worked with. That's not the person that I knew.
Right.
And, like, what do you do? I mean, it's not to equate it to like somebody like in your own family, but that it happens. There are going to be people that are going to have different views from your own, and they still exist in the world, and
Yep.
you have to choose how you're going to exist within it as well. So, um, I've been told that a lot by a lot of people because I have been struggling with that for a really long time myself. We've talked about
Mm.
it before. But I
I mean,
think that's
Snoop
just,
Dogg was just talking about it a couple days
which
ago.
is weird because dude was in the L word. So like make that make sense, homie. Like
It
what?
was for
But
money.
anyway, well,
I don't know.
sure, but so again, you have to pick your battles. I think, there's plenty of other things to consume. There are plenty of other things to give your attention and your hard-earned dollars to. So I don't begrudge anybody that decides to not want to be a part of this new franchise,
Hello,
or
Tony.
to even be a part of the old franchise anymore. If you're done and dusted with that, that's your choice. I'm not going to shit on people that still want to be a part of it because it does mean a
Yeah.
lot to a lot of people. But unfortunately, I think just for our own mental health and our emotional well-being, I think that's kind of what we have to do from now on, because there are always going to be monsters, right? There are always going to be
Yeah.
successful people doing shitty things and saying shitty things.
I mean,
And
watching the X-Men movies, watching, like fucking Seven, I don't know, like Seven, Superman Returns, whatever. And just like watching all these movies, or like watching a Roman Polanski movie or something like
yeah,
that. So,
yeah.
you
You
know,
just, again, we make those choices, right? If we want to be a part of it anymore, if we want to continue anymore, if we want to, like I said, contribute our hard-earned dollars towards those things, or not. So I think, for him, it was probably a hard thing for him to struggle with, just like Daniel Radcliffe, just like Tom Felton, all of those former members of the cast have made those comments themselves of the same, just saying, they're obviously very disappointed, but you move
yeah,
on. It's kind of what you have to do, unfortunately, because she's not going anywhere. And oh well.
that's
So you
putting it
just have to
very
make a good
lightly,
choice for yourself.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's a
It
shame,
just like
but
I felt kind of bad for Tom Felton because like he got so much blowback for his comments, and I'm sure Chris Columbus is going to get blowback for this, because it's like it's either you have to like cut ties with her, demean her totally in order to be like okay with a certain community, which
yeah.
is very sad, because I felt what Tom Felton was saying, he was kind of like bobbing and weaving the controversy. And how he was like, what, I just know that Harry Potter brought a lot of joy to a lot of
Yeah.
people. And
Exactly.
it's like it was my first acting job, so it's like
Right.
it's or one of his first acting jobs, and so it's like I'll
Right.
very much be proud of that. Now his involvement with Cursed Child, that was a whole separate story, but in terms of his comments, he still got blowback, which I found to be
Yeah.
very silly. But
Well, I think, and not to get too much into the weeds and spend a lot of time on this, but I
right,
think the problem here is you can't allow one person to sink the entire ship. That's just not fair at the end of the day. As I've spoken on it before, the Cosby Show was my favorite show. I have every single season on DVD. It was a comfort show to me for a really long time growing up. I'm not going to throw those DVDs in the trash because of one piece of shit person. There is a huge cast that were all wonderful, put their hard-earned work into it.
yep,
That launched a lot of careers. They did a lot of good in this world, and I'm not going to turn my backs on the rest of them because one monster unfortunately made his way through their ranks. And that's how I'm going to feel about JK. That's how I'm going to feel about Jared Leto. I'm still going to go see Tron. But again, now I was recently sharing with John that I've seen some more things about Jared Leto. So yeah, I agree with where everybody's coming from with that dude. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to see something that he's a part of, because it's bigger than him at the end of the day, and it's bigger than these people.
Right.
So we have to remind ourselves of that. So like, yeah, am I going to go to a meet and greet with J.K. Rowling? Am I going to get her autograph at Comic-Con? No, she's not going to be invited to Comic-Con, A, but B, I'm going to choose to spend my hard-earned dollars in different ways.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was very well put, and I agree with all of it. So let's go to something like maybe a little bit less controversial for our second story, South Park. So, it's we're, speaking of controversy, Trey Parker, Matt Stone being the kings of controversy in the best ways possible. But apparently the newest season of South Park is gonna be, it seems to be premiering every other week. I don't know what the choice is for this. Maybe it gives Trey Parker and Matt Stone a little bit more time to work on it, because the good thing about South Park, and why South Park always remains so current. Hello, Brogu, and hello, Hugo Millie. Hello, Yash. So it gives them more time to work on it, and because I know like South Park has always been very easy to make. That's why that like South Park, usually when something happens, South Park immediately talks about it, because it takes like 3 days to make an episode, because the way the animation is with the paper cutouts and stuff like that is very easy to do. Yeah. So it's interesting how this is turning out. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, but I just found this to be very interesting.
I think it's for completely different reasons. These guys are brilliant. They're cunning. They're very, very intelligent. They know exactly what they're doing. I think they saw the insane reaction to the first episode, and I think they're purposely waiting. They're building up anticipation, and I think they're also making sure legally they can continue to get away with whatever they want to get away with. So I think they're taking that time to be really methodical in each move that they make and everything that they write. And I think they're making sure that they are untouchable by the likes of this current administration here in America. So I think they're being really, really smart about it, and still being able to get away with, unleashing absolute fucking chaos, and I'm here for it.
I mean, if Scientology couldn't get to them, nobody can get to them.
I'm sure they're still trying, but yeah.
M2G, very happy to see Lizz. I think this is very very just interesting, very very different interpretations of this, so we'll see how it goes. I don't think Trey Parker and Matt Stone are very nervous about this. I think they're just trying to either be smart about this, or they're like, trying to give it more time or something like that. So whatever it is, I think Trey Parker, Matt Stone being the wonderful men they are. So yeah, just wanted to touch upon that very quickly. But it's like, I feel like it deserves more than just a quick hit. That's why I wanted to make it part of the news.
Yeah.
So yeah, next up is kind of a bigger story, but the review embargo for The Roses, which is a remake of The War of the Roses, just dropped, which is also based on the book by Warren Adler. It stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman. They are, the bickering couple that, or chaos ensues when they're trying to divorce, and yeah, it just looks painfully unfunny. And the Rotten Tomatoes score dropped apparently, and it's technically positive. It's not exactly certified fresh, and it's only 6 points away from being negative. But obviously, the audience score has not come out yet. But it seems like the critic score is like mainly positive. However, there is one. The Variety review was less than stellar. So I know you're going to be seeing this soon, Liz. Are you
Tomorrow.
excited for this movie? Are you dreading
Uh,
it? Are you just curious
I'm
about
looking.
it?
I always assumed that it was kind of a remake of War of the Roses with Danny DeVito and oh my gosh, her name escapes me right now. I apologize. But so that's always
Isn't it
where I was
Kirstie
coming.
Alley or
No. It was another
Kristen Allen? What is
no.
it?
Ugh,
I'm forgetting her name.
not Benning. But anyway, so that's always where I was coming from with it. That's every time I watched a trailer, that's what I assumed. I had seen an article about it's apparently based on a story. I don't know if it's based on the same story that old film was based on.
It is,
Kathleen
yeah.
Turner. Thank you, Tony Randall.
Based on the
Kathleen
Kathleen
Turner.
Turner.
Yes,
Kathleen
thank you, Tony. Yeah, so I loved that film.
Right on the money.
That was replayed a lot on Comedy Central for a little while there at the start of that channel. So I'm hoping for the best. I mean, I don't know that the two of them have the best chemistry as far as like I don't believe that they're a married couple in love. I do believe that they are a warring couple on the verge of divorce. So with that in mind, I mean, I'm looking forward to the fireworks that are going to go off. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I read a quick synopsis of the original movie. I know it's like a cult hit and a lot of people seem to like it. But it just seems like one of those movies that's just too mean-spirited for me. It's like this is supposed to be funny and it's just like
That's fair.
it's
Yeah.
just like too bitter and too like
Yeah.
like I like chaos, but I think this might be too much for me. And then just like this trailer just doesn't look funny to me. Like it just like I every time I see the trailer, I roll my eyes. This and Caught Stealing, those fucking trailers, I got so goddamn sick of. Now I'm sure Caught
seeing that on
Stealing.
Thursday. I can't wait.
Here's the thing with Caught Stealing.
Stealing.
I'm sure it's a great movie. It's got a great cast. I'm not a big Darren Aronofsky fan, but I understand he can make good work.
Yeah.
But it's just like I got so sick of that trailer. Now I refuse to see it. I just don't want to even watch it anymore. And now I kind of hate The Clash. Thanks for that, Darren.
That's a shame. I've had Porno for Pyros Caught Stealing in my head literally for a week. Like I'm singing in my head
like
right
Eric
now.
already saw it.
Oh,
so
Eric, don't you dare say anything. I'm seeing it on Thursday.
Just let us know your thoughts. Let us know your spoiler-free thoughts, and that's it.
No spoilers, Eric. No spoilers. I'll be very upset with you. But no, I'm looking forward to it. And
the last thing you want is Liz being upset with you.
It's true.
So.
The only comment I have on that is every time I see Zoe Kravitz in the trailer, I'm like, I'm getting so frustrated with how they style her in movies. I don't understand it. It's like they purposely try to make her unattractive to a point, and I'm like, all right, but whatever. I'm looking forward to it. I love the cast. I can't wait. Still more movies coming this week. Woohoo!
Yes,
I've been in the theater every day so far.
Yeah, just like giving up all your money for the goddamn AMC overlords.
I mean, they're good to me. It's all right.
So but yeah, now we go from still talking about Benelux eggs Benedict cucumber sandwich. We go from the news to MCU news. So here's the thing, of course, with how Avengers Doomsday is going, we're not sure if he is coming back as Doctor Strange. There was a whole thing with in the post-credit scene or mid-credit scene of Multiverse of Madness that he was gonna allegedly be coming back, and like that he was gonna be with Clea and with Charlize Theron, and it was gonna be a whole thing. But like now with Avengers coming out, is he gonna be a part of that? So obviously he's kind of bobbing and weaving this whole thing. He's like, is that a spoiler? Fuck it. He says he's not a part of Doomsday. The character was not aligning with this part of the story. And then he was like, I got that wrong. I'm in the next one.
I think he's just playing games because he knows, as we all know, he accidentally spoiled something a while back, and now he knows better he doesn't want to leave anything up for speculation. So I think he's just kind of trying to play the long game and just wait it out. So, I think he knows exactly what he's doing.
My bad. That went dark for a second. Anyway, but yeah, it's just like he's just kind of bobbing and weaving throughout this whole thing, and then he's just, I will not confirm nor deny. However, our boy Jeff Snyder did state that Doctor Strange will maybe be in Doomsday. And thanks for the noise, parents. Why don't you take over for this, Liz?
Yeah. So again, I think he's just trying to play it safe because, as I mentioned, I'm not, and I don't recall which project it is exactly, but I know that he did release some spoilers with some Marvel projects in the past. So he learned that lesson. He definitely got his hand slapped from Marvel, like some of the other actors in those films have. So
Okay,
I think
we're
he's
good.
just trying to play it safe. That's all.
Yeah, and then Jeff Snyder perpetuating bullshit like he usually does. So I don't think it's just I think I don't believe this for a second. I just think,
Right.
it's just the whole thing. It's just like I'm so sick of his bullshit and I just like whatever. But
Well,
I don't know.
again,
It's just
he knows
there's a
exactly what
huge
he's doing.
like plot thing with the two of them, but it's just like it's perpetuating what James Gunn is trying to avoid. Perpetuating what James Gunn is trying to avoid is like leaking stuff that you can't promise on. Like, oh, we saw Blade in the Eternals post-credit scene, and look how that turned out. We set up something for Doctor Strange 3, which I don't think is happening anytime soon with Clea. So it's like, all right, straight. But I don't know. It's just like I don't believe any of this, and we're just gonna have to wait. But I think Cumberbatch is just trying to bob and weave all this stuff because he
Yeah.
was essentially Tom Holland's babysitter so that he wouldn't fucking spoil shit. So so there's that. So yeah. But this isn't the only MCU news we have. We have a couple more stories before we get into major trailers. But apparently, Chris Evans and Haley Atwell have reportedly begun filming their scenes. So even though Chris Evans denied he would be in Doomsday, it seems like he is coming back. And
Told y'all.
I mean, we knew he was gonna fucking come back. Look at Andrew Garfield was denying in fucking No Way Home for like a year, and he turns
Yeah.
out he was in it. So it's like,
Yeah.
So I think this because there was the whole thing with like the Luke Cage thing. It turned out to be their house, and like the whole rumor is that he's gonna be causing the incursions by going back in time to stay with Peggy. Doom is pissed, so he's gonna fucking hell hath no fury on all the peoples, and yeah. So yes, I saw Weapons. Liz doesn't like scary movies, so I saw it. I thought it was fantastic. But yes,
Again, I would like to see it, but I recently heard a review from someone else who also doesn't care for scary movies, and they were essentially lied to in order to get them to go see it, and they were like, "Oh my god, no, I peed myself." So not for me.
we have not talked about it. I don't know if there's really much to talk about in regards to that. It's just an audition tape. It was a very good audition tape that he did with his wife. So well, we'll talk about that now since Nelson came into the chat. There's a rumor that Doom kills Captain. I'd believe it.
Yeah, I would believe it too. It would make sense. Again,
it would make
we're talking
sense.
about
Actually,
variants. Yeah.
gives fucking movies some kind of stakes. But the thing is, at the same time, like 2 movies later, it's going to be reset anyway. They're going to bring in a new actor, so it's like it's whatever.
Well, maybe that's how they're going about the reset, which again would make sense. But also, I wouldn't put anything past them at this point. So
yes.
we'll see what
Also,
happens.
thank you for the super chat. But
Thank you.
yes. So the plot. So the plot details are like the whole thing is like, oh, he's going to be retired, but Doom is going to come in and like break up the party and just have it be way darker. So that maybe Peggy is going to be killed, and there's a whole thing with that. Like, man, the MCU just really likes killing Haley Atwell. Like, we've seen her die like 3 times. This would be the 3rd time in this universe. Like,
yeah. So I don't think they're
right.
going to go in that direction anymore. It's more. I think it'll have more impact if they kill Steve, for sure.
Okay. I think this is, just kind of weird, interesting sort of news, but we'll have to, wait and see. Now we move on to the TV side of things before we wrap up the MCU news. But apparently, Daredevil Born Again season 2 uh behind the scenes, uh, there's maybe a potentially spoilery location being utilized, and let's get into that soon. And yeah, so it seems like so this is from Nexus Point News. They're not the best, but they've been right about a couple things. So we're you know so apparently, Bullseye can be seen in one shot. His costume is covered up, unfortunately, while another takes us to Fogwell's gym. Thanks to set photos, we know that Mayor Fisk will be competing in a charity boxing match that Daredevil and Dex end up crashing. Another suitably moody photo takes us inside a church. Daredevil Season 3 borrowed elements from Guardian Devil, the Kevin Smith, Joe Quesada story that saw Bullseye kill Karen Page with one of the hero's billy clubs. So we'll have to see what's going on here. If nothing else, this might be an indication that the vigilante will rediscover his faith and perhaps even reunite with his other sister Maggie. Nexus Point News said that Marvel Studios has already begun prepping for a potential renewal and is aiming to begin production on Season 3 in March of 2026 and shoot through the summer, similar to Season 2's production schedule. So, now that the whole cover up of like, oh, hey, no, this isn't going to be the last season. We're probably going to get a Season 3. That's pretty good. But
and Vincent D'Onofrio already said as much anyway. So,
yeah. So let's I'll just go through these really quickly, but it seems like we got a couple things in regards to Season 2, but yeah, so just a couple interesting little tidbits here and there before, but let's not get into it too much because I don't want to be too spoilery for people. So yeah, let's move on back to regular news stuff, and with that, we're going to be getting into lots of trailers. With the first trailer being an FX show with one of the biggest and craziest casts I've ever seen for anything. But apparently it's about this conspiracy theorist played by Ethan Hawke that gets into something way over his head involving a murder. Very much horror comedy. It's from the guy that brought us that co-created Reservation Dogs. It's got Ethan Hawke, Keith David, Peter Dinklage, Jan Triplehorn, Kyle MacLachlan, just an absolute just a huge gathering of great people in this show. But it looks very interesting. It's I don't know about that, but we'll see. But Brogu, loving Daredevil Born Again. Would be cool, but doubt Spider-Man. I would go balls to walls, do everything crazy. Yeah, obviously we'll see in regards to that. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this trailer? Did you like it? Did you hate it?
I liked it. I added it to the ever-growing list. Hopefully I will get to it at some point. But yeah, it looks really fun. It looks really out there and crazy. And as you said, the cast is stacked, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's interactions and chemistry with one another. So yeah, I'll be checking it out for sure.
Nice. Yeah, just the cast alone has me interested, but I do like the story, and I like the overall vibe, and Ethan Hawke is great. Can't wait for Black Phone 2. So speaking of devils, though, the next one we have, this probably might interest you, Basic White Girl with True Crime. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Anyway.
I did add this to the list as well.
But this is, going to be kind of similar to the Jeffrey Dahmer show, where it's
which I did not see.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the new Shane Black movie, that was another trailer, but we had so many trailers. We have 6 guys, so we couldn't talk about all of them, but yeah, the new Shane Black movie looks really good. We'll probably talk about it tomorrow, Lexi. So, but this looks very, very interesting. It's kind of I do kind of like the vibe where it's after. It's not like so much during, but mainly like after, like kind of picking up the pieces of what this fucking thing has done. And I like the guy who plays him. He definitely seems like a good job. Michael Angarano, Sky High fame. He's playing the lawyer who is defending John Wayne Gacy. So there's that. I think it's I just think that this is a very very intriguing thing, and yeah, and good cast, but it is going to be on Peacock, so we will I don't know how I can watch that because I don't have Peacock, but maybe I will get it for this. I don't know. But yeah,
You can
looks
get it
good.
for free. You can get a free version of it.
Yeah, but then I have to start an account, and that's added to the fucking list of 1 trillion accounts that I
Yeah.
have.
I understand.
So you know what's great that doesn't make me start a fucking account? Tubi. Tubi will forever be the goddamn goat, and nothing
Pluto
will take it away
TV
from
as
that.
well. I will say, yeah,
Pluto TV is pretty good, but I think Tubi is like even more top tier. Like Tubi is, is there a god, and is his name Tubi? Yes. So yeah. But Devil in Disguise looking good, but now we go from one series to another, this time on the Apple side of things. But Jessica Chastain, here we have Discount Zero Dark 30, but instead of tackling terrorists and Osama bin Laden,
Well,
she's tackling extremist groups
she's still tackling terrorists.
well, like
Domestic
extremists
terrorists.
that become terrorists, not like
Yeah.
foreign entities is what I was trying to get at. But yes.
Domestic terrorists.
Yes, domestic terrorists. Thank you for that. Yes, to be or not to be, to be. But yeah, I think this looks. It just. It's Apple. It's Apple. They have
But
like
I feel
the
like it's
best
one of those
track
that we're gonna
record.
be uncomfortable the entire time.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be hard to watch, but I think
Yeah,
it'll
with
be
everything
good.
going on in the country now, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of the point. It's not supposed to be
Added it to
comfortable.
the list.
It's talking about
I added it to
terrorism.
the
So
list.
just Jessica Chastain just loves staring at computers trying to figure out how to tackle terrorists. If I had a nickel,
Very true. That's a very true statement.
but yeah, good stuff. Jessica Chastain always brings her A game. But next up, we have now we're going into the movie side of things. We have Hamnet, which was apparently the alleged inspiration for Hamlet. And it has our Gladiator 2 Boyo Paul Mescal and then Jesse Buckley. I don't know who the fuck that is, but it looks like an interesting little romantic drama. Not really my type of thing, but what were your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. It looks interesting. As even though Google is readily available, I actually don't know a whole lot about Shakespeare aside from his published works that we all are familiar with at this point. But so I find it a little interesting because it supposedly is based on his marriage, how his marriage and his relationship shaped his writing. So I'm gonna check it out. I mean, I love Paul, so I definitely would want to be interested in seeing what it's all about.
Right. But yeah, I mean, I've kind of been intrigued with Paul Mescal. Like I'm gonna see the upcoming, Beatles biopics with him in it. So I'm intrigued with his career. I think he did. I know not a lot of people liked Gladiator 2, but I thought it was really good, and I thought he was, great in it. So there's that. But yeah, we will watch your career with great interest is how I will put that. But yeah, looks intriguing. I don't know if I would ever like go out of my way to watch it, but still looks like an interesting little movie. Then we go on to just like a quick tidbit, like just a funny little thing. Chad Powers, the Chad Powers multiverse is coming full circle over here. Glenn Powell meets Eli Manning. I know, well, considering I have Eli Manning, who usually makes a cameo appearance in all of these streams right there. So I had to include this, even though I don't watch this show. It's just a kind of a funny little thing and just overall just ridiculous. But I don't know. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, but Eli Manning's Eli's Places season 3 gets a trailer.
Yeah, I did not know this was a show. I could give a flying about college sports, but I think it's an interesting premise. So cool.
Yeah.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, then
Yeah,
by all means,
by all
you know,
means.
by all means, give it a watch on the ESPN streaming service. I don't even know ESPN had a streaming service, so there's that too. But gonna eat a cracker. Well, I'm hungry and I'm fat. But
Oh no. Come on.
last thing of the news, the last trailer we have is Keira Knightley going either flight plan on us or who done it on us, but Keira Knightley swears she witnessed a murder and chaos ensues. She's stuck on a boat.
This is very Woman in the Window. It's very Rear Window. It's almost kind of like Murder on the Nile or whatever that one was called.
Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile. Thank you. I've also added this to the list too. It does look intriguing. It does look pretty good. I like movies like that. I like, ones where, it might take you a second to figure it out. If you ever figure it out at all without them revealing it, those are always fun. I appreciate not knowing where a film is going. So it looks pretty good.
Yeah, definitely a lot of crazies here, like people putting boobs in their profile picture. But, I think this looks interesting. When I was watching it, I'm like, okay, so you have a woman who's trying to figure out a murder, and it's a rich dig on rich assholes. This is just serious Knives Out. Like, it's just, it's Knives Out, but like a serious whodunit. I love Keira Knightley. I think I feel like she's just an actress who just doesn't get enough work. I just feel like, I don't know. She's just not, I mean, she's still getting good, steady work, and God bless her for it. She's know what she wants to do. Maybe she just doesn't want to do anything big and just wants to stick with what she has. But I don't know. I just feel like Keira Knightley is just a really good actress, and I just feel like I don't see her enough. But yeah, I think this looks great. It's got David Morrissey. It's got Guy Pearce. It's got it's got Hannah Waddingham, Elizabeth Gillies. It's got a lot of really good people in it, and I am pretty excited for it. So, yeah. But now we go from the trailers to the content within the trailers of talking about movie talk madness. Well, technically movie talk madness. Well, I'll be going first, get my shit out of the way, and then you can go on your tirade.
And I'm running away because I don't want spoilers. I haven't watched it yet. So
okay, that's fine. But I will be talking about Alien Earth. Now, I will be talking spoilers, so if you have not seen the episode yet, it's only been up for a couple hours. I will be getting into spoilers for episode 4, Observation, I believe is what it's called. I think so yeah, let's get into that now, shall we? Let's get that like serious movie music. There we go. But yeah, Alien Earth, the newest episode in this very great show. And I would say this is probably the weakest episode. I think while we do find out more in regards to everything going on, in regards to Wendy's hearing issues, in regards to her relationship with her brother, this is a very, very dry, slow episode. And I'm not talking about like the good kind of slow. It was slow to the point of kind of boring. It does have some bits here and there. So see you later, Grogu. We'll see you soon. But I felt that a lot of I wasn't saying I wasn't interested in the character stuff. I wasn't interested. Like, I'm clearly intrigued, but it just kind of moved at a snail's pace, I think. I'm the one person that talks about Alien Earth. TV Talk Terror, guys. But obviously, if you guys haven't seen it, please move on. But yeah, we got stuff with Wendy. We got stuff with her brother, how they handle that. We got some stuff with Slightly. We got some stuff with the experimentation in regards to the aliens. So we did get so here's the thing. I always thought with Wendy that she had like a special like power. I think she does, but it seems like she understands the aliens like language of the like kind of the weird sounds they make, and it seems like to be like an actual language, and she like understands it. So, you know, it definitely is it's definitely like, and I don't want to minimize the greatness of like the show, but I just feel like it was just drier this episode. It was just like, when I thought it was like gonna really get going, we still got a kind of a dry episode. We got some stuff with Morrow and Slightly, how like Morrow is still on his mission to get the aliens for Yutani, and I think it's an intriguing thing. It's just like, how far is he willing to go for this? Then we have the stuff with like her brother Hermit being pretty much blackmailed into being on this island, and how he's kind of dealing with that. They don't go into that much. It's mainly about Wendy and Slightly, I think, and, you know, Kirsch and Boy Cavalier experimenting on the aliens. Like, we see the eye alien take over a sheep. And so it's just giving us information. You'll also see the alien in the lung in Hermit's stolen lung pop out at the very end of the episode, and how like we see Wendy like communicating with it. So that's definitely an intriguing thing. But it was just like, a lot of bouts of like talking, and how the redheaded chick, I think it's Nibs, how she's like it seems like she has like some kind of PTSD. She's kind of going crazy. She thinks she's like pregnant, and she's just like off, like there's like something is going to go on with her, something is going to happen with her. You know, I think but yeah, I just think you know, I just think it was overall like good character stuff, but for the most part it was very dry, and I feel like that's kind of mimicked in the popcorn meter here, because I think it was at like 72, 73, maybe a little bit higher, but it did kind of go down for the audience score, because people don't like slow stuff. I don't mind slow stuff, but even the slow stuff here was a little bit too dry. I still love the technology. I'm still intrigued with what's going on, but you know, I just think that it could have been better, because we were promised a little bit more. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a pretty damn good episode. Just, it could have been better, and you know, it was still probably the weakest of the season so far, and we're now halfway through the season. We're at the midpoint, so you know, I just wish there was a little bit more. That's all. Anyway, but that is it for the TV side of things. We are done. So everybody can come back who, you know, and although MTG was asking who's your favorite character, I like Hermit. I think he's like kind of interesting. Plus he looks a lot like Jack's film. So I'm like, you could be his brother, and I don't know, I like that. But Wendy and Hermit are probably the most interesting characters. I like Kirsch because I'm biased, because I love Timothy Oliphant. So, you know, there's that as well. Hello Hunter and hello Nelson. So yeah, that's you know, also Tony, you can come back. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm signaling you to come back. We're done. Yeah, who's your favorite alien? I don't know. We haven't seen a lot of aliens in this. So anyway, do
you mean like of all time alien?
Like, are we talking about like alien movies, aliens in the show? Because there's different aliens in the show. So I don't know what you mean by that.
Superman.
Who's your favorite alien? Yeah. My favorite alien of all time? Yeah, I guess probably Superman. If I had to say one. But we're not here to talk about aliens. We're here to talk about conversations. I don't know. I couldn't think of a good segue. Relay.
Movies.
What are your thoughts on this? I didn't watch it, so this is all you. The rest is all you.
I just saw it. It was great. I really liked it a lot. It had, it was one of those films where you expect where it's going, and turns out, nope. Like I thought the movie was wrapping up. I thought maybe we had like 5 minutes left, and then all of a sudden, oh, that's not what's going on at all. So for those of you who don't know, because the trailers have only been playing, minimally for the past like week or so, Riz is a fixer, essentially. These whistleblowers, uncover some dirty things about these big bad corporations, take some documentation and, threaten to expose it to the media or to law enforcement. But sometimes these people get cold feet and they want to return the documents without repercussions, right? So Riz's job in this film is to facilitate that transfer of documents while ensuring those people are not victimized, they're not brutalized, they're not harassed, they're not unalived by these corporations when all they're trying to do is just do the right thing. Hey, I made a mistake. This is your private property. I'm returning it back to you. Please don't kill me. So that's where we find these characters. That's how he gets in touch with Lily James. She uncovers some documents from a pharmaceutical corporation that she works for. Turns out they're not being honest about the results of some of their trials on individuals. She was initially going to do something with that information, but realized that so Riz was the guy that facilitated the handoff between those sensitive materials, Lily James, and said corporation. But again, there was a lot of twists and turns here. It was really kind of interesting. I've never really seen like a spy or thriller type film handle communication the way that this did, because again, it's 2025. Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody's tapped into the internet. It's very easy to track people. So in this day and age, like, how do you get information across without being tracked? So there's a lot of analog technology. He uses the postal service and all of their various loopholes and redundancies in his favor. But as I said, you think you know where the story's going, and then suddenly they throw you this curveball and you're like, whoa, I still have at least 30 minutes left to this film. So that was pretty cool. It was pretty entertaining. I will say the pacing, however, was kind of along the lines of like The Amateur, if anybody saw that film, where there wasn't a whole lot of like lead up and then they got into the action, but it was a lot of just kind of like sitting and waiting for things to happen. But I dug it. I thought it was a really interesting premise, very, very, like I said, creative way that they handled all of the back and forth between the communication of with Riz and Lily, and then again between them and the corporation that they were trying to make right.
I'll probably add this to the list. It sounds interesting. It kind of reminds me the vibe, like how you kind of describe it, but like when I first saw, like, I didn't know anything about this movie. The vibe, I got the vibe a lot from Francis Ford Coppola's The Conversation with Gene Hackman, like that kind of vibe a little bit. Not exactly the same movie, but like spy stuff relying on like this like analog technology kind of thing. So yeah, it sounds interesting. It has, pretty damn good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Like I said, I've never seen anything like it as far as what because you always see like, how do we thwart technology? How do we go analog? But they've never done it the way that this film does it. And I think it's really, really interesting.
Like, that definitely sounds interesting. I mean, I will say this, I'm not trying to like take credit for anything. It's just like, I remember like 10, 11 years ago when I saw Nightcrawler for the first time. And I obviously, like, Jake Gyllenhaal was amazing in that movie. And then, but that was like the first time I saw Riz Ahmed in anything. That was like one of his first movies. And I'm like, this guy's going somewhere, because this guy, I know Sound of Metal was revered, that got nominated. And so it's good to see, even though he's not in the biggest movies, he's still doing a great job in them. Yeah. So, Rogue One. I mean, that was probably his last
and he was. Everybody was great in this film. Sam, Lily, Riz, everybody was really, really good in this film. So again, I don't expect it to be in theaters for very long, because again, they're not advertising it well, unfortunately.
Same with Americana.
Right. There were about a handful of people in my theater. But again, I loved Americana too. So please, try and check these films out if you can.
Yeah.
I would say Go ahead.
As I was gonna mention before you said it, recommendation and a rating.
Yes. I recommend seeing it. I would see it again. I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. Not everything was perfect, but like I said, there was a huge surprise in it that I did not see coming. And if you can fool me, it's pretty goddamn good. So so I liked it a lot.
All right. Although we mentioned Americana, and speaking of Sydney Sweeney, that is going to be.
I saw her twice in a week.
The Big Tits of Wonder. What are your thoughts on Ron Howard's newest film, Eden?
Well, I will say you do see her breasts. You also see Ana de Armas's breasts. For some reason, these ladies just can't do a film without their boobs being out. I don't understand it. Although Cindy doesn't get her.
She could have gotten the trifecta. You could have gotten Mia Goth in this movie too.
Oh, please. But we did see Jude Law full frontal, and boy, got a booty
we got Dawn. Let's go.
Talking about bulge watch, gang, bulge watch. That was interesting. So this is actually based on true events, true story. But the story has been told from two different perspectives. I should say two sides of one story. And the woman who is portrayed by Sydney Sweeney is actually the last survivor of these events. So she kind of got to get the last word in about how everything went down. But this takes place shortly after World War I. Jude Law and Vanessa Kirby's characters move to the Galapagos, and essentially Jude is trying to write a manuscript, a memoir about how to be our best selves, about how what society needs to do in order to save itself. He's very disenchanted after the war. He feels as though humanity's destruction is upon us. So they kind of stowed away to the Galapagos to be alone, to be out of the chaos, and to try and figure out what it is that makes humanity who we are, and how can he essentially save the world. Vanessa backs him, and they live out there in paradise for about 4 years, and he's constantly sending in letters to various news organizations with his thoughts, and has kind of developed a cult following. So then comes Sydney Sweeney and her husband, and I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not going to, but they are huge fans of Jude Law's and say, hey, we want to join you on this island. We want to make a go of it as well. Things are not great back home. There's still the brink of war. Adolf Hitler is still, causing trouble. So we want to be a part of your world. We want to do what you're doing. And Jude and Vanessa are not happy about that. They don't want neighbors. They purposely move there to get away from fanfare. They try to kind of sabotage their endeavors, but it doesn't work out. Then all of a sudden, Ana de Armas shows up with 3 strapping men. She claims to be a baroness who somehow convinced the government of the Galapagos to sell her 4,000 acres of land that she intended to put a luxury hotel upon. But of course gets there and, being a baroness, not used to getting her hands dirty, not used to roughing it or having to camp. So she starts to kind of put a wrench in between everybody as well. And it kind of becomes kind of a Lord of the Flies kind of vibe where everybody's out to get everyone else. And I'm trying to take what you have.
That's what Dan said.
Yeah. And I don't want you to be prosperous unless I can be prosperous. But at the end of the day, I still need to be better than you. So chaos ensues. But again, it is based on real people, real events, a real story. Sydney Sweeney's character, as I said, was the last survivor of this true tale. She and her husband actually did end up opening a very exclusive luxury hotel on the island, which you can still go to today. They remained there since the 1930s. Sydney Sweeney's character in real life, I should say, she's not a character, passed away, I believe, in 2000 at the ripe old age of 97. So it's a really fascinating tale. I thought the pacing was pretty good. You're kind of with the story the entire time. Some brutal shit goes down between everybody, but it's really interesting to see what how people survive and pivot and figure their way out of these really crazy circumstances. I mean, I don't think a lot of people today could just pack up, move to an island with nothing, and build a house and figure out a water system and do all of that. But again, they're all looking to make life better for themselves, and unfortunately it just ended up being more, you know, this cat and mouse game and just a game of survival against one another, let alone the elements. So it was really wild to not only, again, to sit there and watch this and be like, wow, this is a true story, this all really happened, and to try and put yourself in the place of those people. And like, you know, they're all very manipulative towards one another, but they all also kind of figure out that people are trying to manipulate them. Whereas I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't know that I would have figured that out, that's what that dude was doing this whole time. So who knows if I'd survive in that situation. But again, I recommend it. It was really interesting. It was a very interesting watch. You do see Sydney Sweeney's boobs, if that matters to anybody, as well as Ana de Armas. And like I said, Jude Law, full frontal nudity and full back nudity as well. Boy got a booty on him. So as far as a rating, again, I would give it an 8 out of 10. It wasn't anything, you know, incredible, but all of the performances were great. And like I said, the fact that it's based on a true story that's really happened to this group of people is something else for sure.
Yeah, I was definitely curious about the rating because I know this kind of got mixed reviews because like the critics gave it a rotten score, but audience seems to like it.
Well, again, at the end of the day, because all of these people are just simply trying to survive, so they're trying to, you know, outmaneuver one another, none of them really come out in the best light. But you know, it's just, if anything, it's a true testament to our true human nature and kind of the reason we're in the shit all the time. So
yeah, and also it's Daniel Bruhl is the actor's name. He played.
Thank you. I can never pronounce the last name.
He worked with Ron Howard before on Rush.
Oh yeah.
And then he was obviously Zemo.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say this film is 50% Marvel actors, so.
I mean, yeah, you got Jude Law, you got,
Vanessa
you
Kirby.
got Bruhl, you got, Kirby. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I was very curious about this movie. Also, hello, Ron. But yeah, I was curious because it's like, I know Ron Howard has kind of been mostly the past like 10 years or so. He had like the last good movie he had was like Rush. He's been mostly making stinkers since then.
Well, a lot of people get mad at him because he kind of romanticizes not the greatest people, and you know, tends to show shitty people in a nicer light than they necessarily deserve. So I think that's been a big part of the problem with a lot of when he makes stories based on true events. Yeah. I think that's a lot of people's point of contention. And like I said, it's not that any of these people are particularly wonderful at the end of the day. They all started out with very good intentions, but you know, circumstances may. So again, it was an interesting story to be sure. But
yeah, definitely an interesting feature so far, but we still have one more to talk about.
One more!
The new Cohen and Cook film. Which seems like the title is warning us about this movie because I have not heard a single good thing about it. So, but let us know your thoughts if you liked it or not.
Also, if you enjoy breasts, there's quite a lot of it in this film. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention Chris Evans in Nothing But a Jockstrap. Thank you so much for that, Ethan Coen. It was an interesting one. It takes place in a small town, Bakersfield, California. The overall vibe was like a small town in like the 1960s, but
Sorry,
yet
say a small town in France.
But yet everyone had cell phones and so it was very strange. Like it was like, again, it felt like you're watching like almost an old Western to a point. Mm-hmm. And it felt like it was set in the 60s or 70s, but everyone had cell phones, everybody had computers, So Margaret Qualley's character is a private detective. She was contacted by a woman who ended up dead 2 days after she had gotten her message, so she never actually got to speak with the woman and understand what it was she needed her services for. So that kind of sets her on this path of, she called me for a reason, and now all of a sudden she's at the bottom of a ditch in a car crash. So she starts to kind of pull on that thread and uncovers some things and some patterns that all fit together, but don't actually lead you where you think they're leading you. So that was really interesting too. Not to say that there was a huge twist in this one, much like Relay. Relay was a little more shocking to me, but this one definitely had a twist in it as well. So again, Chris Evans, Margaret Qualley. Oh my God, I'm blanking on her name again. Please help me with. Let me go through the cast here.
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey, thank you, Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, I was like kind of pointing it like, hey, it's right here,
Yeah,
Charlie Day.
I wanted to call her Amanda for some reason, but no, Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, again, it's a quirky one. Charlie Day is also in it as well, and again, it takes place in Bakersfield, California, which feels like the middle of nowhere. They've got it set up as if there's like, a town of like maybe 500 people, but yet Chris Evans' character kind of has a southern drawl to him. Charlie Day still very much has his like Philadelphia like tough guy accent to him. So it was really strange to like find an identity in this film. But again, it's a whodunit one, with, I almost want to compare it to like a Wes Anderson type styling. Like Ethan Coen definitely has his own kind of like quirky alternative to whimsy. I don't know what you would call it. Edgy, I guess, is edgy tone to it. I enjoyed it. There was a surprise to it. Chris Evans, I thought, was hilarious. He played a complete psychopath. But like one who didn't really get his hands dirty that often, but he was wild. And yeah, so I would give it, I'll give it a 6.5, 7 out of 10. I would see it again, but it's not one of those that I necessarily would suggest anybody needs to see in a theater.
Right.
It's, kind of one you can put on the background. For me, I would check it out just for Chris Evans' performance. Quite frankly, I thought he was pretty. You've never seen him like this. But again, it was okay. It wasn't as awesome as I expected it to be. I really thought I was going to get more out of it, and it was just it was okay.
I didn't expect anything from this. I mean, the Rotten Tomatoes scores kind of speak for themselves.
I never go by that though. Like
neither do I, but like. At the same time, I really didn't like Drive Away Dolls. I thought it was like painfully unfunny.
I loved everything about Drive Away Dolls, like except the ending. I didn't care for the third act
because they didn't get their dildos back. Were you pissed off about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was Lord knows how many times have all of us done that. We left our leftovers at the restaurant. What a shame. But for some reason, Margaret Qualley just has to have some really gratuitous sex scenes in all of her films, and she and
if she wants to do it, then by all means.
She and Aubrey Plaza, man. I mean, you see nipple for like a good 10 minutes. It was wild. I was like, all right, like that was a choice. But hey, if you like that sort of thing, if you enjoy a whodunit with a twist, and it does look like they've set it up for a sequel because Margaret actually doesn't get the final boss, the big bad at the end, and it kind of sets us up to believe that she's going to uncover that next layer of the whole thing. But yeah, it was an interesting one. Again, nothing to write home about necessarily, but it did have a Chris Evans in a jockstrap. So
hey, stop messing around. I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
That's right.
But yeah, glad you liked it. I have no interest in this. I really didn't care for their previous effort. So it's just like, hey, I could just go to the Pornhub and just watch the lesbian category. Yeah. Like I don't really need to watch a story that's mid at best. Yep. So, but that is it for Movie Talk Madness. We can fucking get that music out of here. And we're going to be going to something a little bit quicker, and that's going to be the quick hits. So let's get the different music in here, and there it is. We still got music going, guys, so don't worry. Going to be getting through this as quick as we can. First quick hit we have is Antonio Banderas. A bunch of names I won't be able to pronounce. Richard E. Grant, Forrest Whitaker, among cast for Trudy Styler pick Rose's Baby. Not Rosemary's Baby. Rose's Baby. It's filming underway and first look. Thoughts on this? It's apparently about Banderas and his ex-wife as they attempt to set aside the drama of their messy divorce for the sake of their daughter. Does that interest you in any way, shape, or form? Or
check it out.
I also love how, like, since they're going off the last movie they did, they had to put Antonio Banderas for Baby Girl, and it's just like, oh, he's so much more than that. Don't insult our boy like that.
He was the best part of that film, however. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, come on. And I appreciate the reference and I see you managed to get your shirt off. Anyway, loving that. But let's just keep on going. Apparently, from the show, I think it was like about like aliens or something on MGM Plus. Cast Julia Doyle as series regular for season 4 as production begins. Is this a show you watch? Is it on your list? Are you curious about it, or have you never?
No, I've never even heard of it. But
so I'm kind of aware of it, like a little bit. Like I think I caught like a clip of it. Yeah, it's like apparently it's one of those. This is the best show you're not watching, but considering it's on MGM Plus, yeah, nobody's watching it because nobody fucking has MGM Plus. So you know, it's like Amazon is right there. Anyway,
I didn't even know MGM Plus was a thing. So
yeah. But anyway, Julia Doyle, if you care about her, yes, redheads, the best of the heads. Anyway, but yeah, Julia Doyle, if you care about that. Next, let's go. Hulu lands Alex Gibney's Luigi Mangione documentary. Thoughts on this, and are you going to watch it?
This I will be watching for sure. I am fascinated by that whole story.
Yes.
I don't particularly find him attractive. I'm not one of those fangirls of the
no,
gentleman.
God, no.
But yeah, I am fascinated by all of this. So I'll be checking it out for sure.
And Figure Drawing gives a seal of approval for From. From is dope. Props to From. I know Harold Marino is in it. He was in Constantine, the Constantine show. Is the actor as hot as the real guy? Well, maybe they might get my Ryan Gosling. No, but it's a documentary. It's not actually gonna feature a fictional. It's not gonna be like the John Wayne Gacy show, Devil in Disguise, where it's like an entirely like reenactment or embellishment based on true events kind of thing. It's a documentary. So, yeah. I'll watch it if Ryan Murphy makes it. What, Devil in Disguise or this? This is Alex Gibney. This is a documentary. This is not a movie or a show. It's a documentary. It's just real life footage and telling the story of how this guy got to this place. That's it. Also, hi Anthony. The other Tony is now in the chat. So yeah, awesome, great, perfect. Our boy Luigi. Stay strong. Disney apparently is also doing something. They're suing Sling TV, saying its new mini bundles violate carriage deal terms. Thoughts?
I mean, yeah, if it does, it does. So, sucks to suck.
Anyway, but you know, apparently this goddamn movie is still killing it. K-Pop Demon Hunters officially becomes Netflix's most popular film ever.
I officially had to add it to the list.
After another week of near 0% audience decline.
Wild.
Also, the sing-along just came out in theaters this past weekend. And before we move on, I would like to congratulate all of the weebs that finally got outside and touched grass. I'm very, very proud of you guys. Now you guys need to wear deodorant, and then you'll be golden. So, like, see, this will scare all the weebs in the chat. Ooh. Anyway, so just put on some deodorant, and you'll be fine. And maybe touch grass a few more times.
We beg of you,
and you should be okay. But congrats to this fucking movie that nobody can shut the fuck up about.
I'm gonna see it. I added it to the list. I'm gonna check it out.
I feel like this K-pop thing is it's a cult. It's a fucking cult with how much people don't shut the fuck. Like it was actually funny. I have not watched this movie
in the Billboard Top 100 right now. It's crazy.
It's kind of it's okay. So weeb is like a person who likes Japanese culture and anime. Sometimes it can be used derogatory, sometimes not. I know weebs, they don't care being called a weeb, so I fucking use it.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Although Netflix biggest movie ever, like, come on. fuzzy math. So the power of cleanliness tells you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a cult. It's just like it's a little crazy, and it's just like and I've seen like clips from it. I'm like, I don't like the animation. I don't like the like dropped frame rate like movement that like Spider-Verse made popular, and now like they have to do it with every movie. And no, I love Spider-Verse, but the thing is, they did it right. They made it work within the context of the story.
Yeah,
here it's just like it looks like 10 frame rates a second, and I'm like, it doesn't make it look interesting. It's just ugly. And I was actually watching a short of he's a known like chef on YouTube. I forget the name of it. I think it might be Andy something. But I was watching a short, and I'm like, why does this song sound like garbage? And I noticed, I looked, the scrolling text at the bottom to show what the song is, and I'm like, oh, it's from fucking K-pop Demon Hunters. Mute. And I was like, because everyone's like, oh my god, the songs are great, and the fucking 10 seconds I listened to that, I'm like, oh, this is just pop crap.
I mean, I love K-pop, so it's one of
it's not my thing. If you like it,
one of my games
fine,
in Beat Saber is a K-pop ditty, so I'm down. But again, I'm just with all the hype, it does intrigue me. It does make me want to check it out.
Sorry,
I'm not a huge fan of anime myself, but I would also just like to say, hey, Unilever, why don't you sponsor some Comic-Cons? Hand out some free sticks, you know what I'm saying? That would be really nice to see. Just a thought. Anyway.
But yeah, so the cult continues of this goddamn movie, and I'm not watching.
And I'm never
going to watch this movie. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I've kowtowed before. Like, I swore I'd never watch Breaking Bad because everyone would never shut the fuck up about it. But then I watched it, and it was obviously phenomenal. I plan to watch Ted Lasso soon before season 4 comes along.
John, I've seen it 3 times through. Please, John, watch.
I know, but like, I saw the scene with the darts, and I'm like, okay, I need to watch this show. But
John, it's wonderful.
I know it's wonderful, but the thing is, it was one of those things where it's like, when you're consistently and constantly hearing about like this is like the greatest show you're not watching.
Good, John.
I know, but sometimes it gets a lot, and things overhype. I'll give you
my Apple password if you need it. I implore you, John. It's so good.
Okay.
I mean,
weird. Anything. I don't want to look at this fucking screenshot any longer. Let's just move on. But I know you probably care about this, but Michelle Visage set as host of Drag Race Down Under versus the World for WoW Presents Plus. Intrigued with this?
I mean, that's a really long title, but yeah, good for you, Michelle. Good for Drag Race. Good for Australia. Enjoy it, gang.
Thanks. Oh, I didn't plan on ever watching it, like, because the thing I hate, and just one more thing, because I have to get a closing thing on this, is because what I hate is when people want to get you to watch something, and then they insult you for not watching it. Then I'm like, okay, now I never want to watch it because you called me a dumbass for not watching. The fans
ruined it for you.
So
okay,
like, exactly, because it's just like you ruined it. That's how I am with
sports teams. I get it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I get it.
So,
well, if anyone wants to play Beat Saber to the K-pop band that's on there, you let me know, because I am killing it. Anyway.
But next up, Jamie Presley, aka Margot Robbie's double, Michael Rappaport, aka Bill Burr's double, Baron Davis, and Lorraine Newman set for sports drama Last Shot. Currently in production, Last Shot is billed as an emotional coming-of-age sports drama set against the backdrop of Nashville's elite youth basketball scene. Would you watch this or no?
Yeah, I'll check it out. I like Michael Rappaport, even though he's nuts sometimes. I like Jamie Presley too. She looks like a lot like Jamie King sometimes as well. So she's an interesting one, but I like her. Yeah. And hopefully she comes to Comic-Con. I'd love to meet her.
Very interesting. But speaking of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Rhea Seehorn joins Taylor Kitsch, remember him? In Thriller 11 Days. The film takes place in the sweltering heat of a Texas summer in 1974 as ruthless prisoner Federico Carrasco, Diego Luna as well, takes control of Huntsville Penitentiary. The prison's priest, Father Joseph O'Brien Isaacs, joins forces with Jim Estelle Kitch, head of the Texas Department of Corrections, by entering the eye of the storm and offering himself as a hostage to outgame Carrasco and his men in an attempt to save the lives of the other hostages. I think we might have talked about this, but I think we did talk about this, but we're talking about the fact that Rhea Seehorn has now is now added to the cast. So, no, we have not talked about that, Anthony, and we will not be talking about it today. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, Jamie is Margot with assets. Is she Margot with actual acting ability? That's the thing.
I think so. I think so.
But yeah, thoughts on this? Did you ever watch Better Call Saul?
Yeah, and I love you, Taylor. You should have been Gambit. I'm so sorry you didn't get your chance. Still loved you and John Carter. So yeah, I'm excited. Good for them.
Yeah, Rhea Seehorn, she needs to be more shit. She's fucking excellent. I can't wait for Vince Gilligan's new show with her. I think it's Pluribus or something like that. That looks very weird and very interesting. But one more quick hit for you. Rachel Sennett, whatever, HBO comedy gets title, fall premiere date. It's called I Love in LA, and it's about a group of friends living in the city. Okay, so it's just friends again, but it's LA. Cool, great. What are your thoughts on this?
All right, I'm sure.
Yep, pretty much.
Fun.
Anyway, that's it for the quick hits, guys. Thanks for joining us on the news side of things. Don't worry, it's far from over. We still obviously have a lot of DC stuff to get into, but thanks you for joining us for the news sort of thing. So make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. We love and appreciate all of you. And as Nelson, you don't want to disappoint Nelson, do you? Nelson is one of our lovely regulars. You don't want to make him sad. You don't want to make him cry. You got click that like button for Nelson. One Nelson is one less. One like for one Nelson is one less cry. The math works. Shut up. Anyway, but yes, thank you. Nothing is over, just like what Rambo would say. But as we move on to DC, well, we got to be blessed, right? We got to be blessed from the start. So let's get that truly started now.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you really I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all in the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka hunka.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to DCU Daily. We are here for DC time. I am, of course, your host, John. Very lovely to see you all continue on to DCU Daily. But here we are. Let's really get this party started by bringing Lizz into the house, even though she's not here. There she is. There we go. Boom. There it is. Perfection. How are you doing, Liz? What are you excited to talk about DC related today?
I don't know. I mean, all of it. Batman.
There we go. See, Batman. Who doesn't love Batman?
For some reason, AMC Theaters is showing the original Batman and Batman Returns like every week. I just caught both of them on Monday. Michael Keaton, obviously the best. And they're doing it again next Monday. So if you guys have an AMC Theaters near you, go check out that double feature. And it's in Dolby too, which is, I mean, yeah, let's talk Batman, gang. Let's do it.
But before we talk Batman, let's talk about your favorite DCEU movies. Aquaman, Liz.
Oh, gross.
But well, not Aquaman, but James Wan and Patrick Wilson. But before we get into major lovely stuff in regards to Batman, James Wan and star Patrick Wilson, who is probably doing press for The Conjuring right now, they were asked on, hey, have you met with James Gunn? Are you going to be part of the new DCU? And they had some interesting things to say.
They said no.
Wilson was first to say, nope, never met him. Wilson, no stranger to comic book fare, starring in Watchmen. He was, obviously the Ocean Master and Aquaman. I have no relationship there. Obviously, Peter, his partner, is our producer. So I've known Peter forever. I mean, we said what we needed to say with Orm. So yeah, I love the guy, love the character. So doesn't seem like he's going to be coming back anytime soon, and he doesn't really care to have a relationship with Gunn all that much. But Juan was also saying, in terms of a DC return, I haven't really. Peter and I have just chatted briefly on the surface, but I've actually just taken a bit of a hiatus from directing, as his last directing job was, I think, Malignant, which was quite a few years ago, and just taking a break from my mental health, because directing just takes so much out of you physically and mentally and emotionally. And so who knows, never say never, but for now I'm slowly getting back in there. I tell you what I would be keen to do is I love the idea of maybe getting back into horror.
No.
So, obviously Aquaman isn't going to come into the DCU anytime soon. So
James Gunn's got Lobo. He doesn't need Jason for anything else at this point. We don't. Y'all, it's a pipe dream if you're thinking that's happening. No, sir.
Yeah, but obviously people, they're doing all these press stuff, like they get asked all these questions. But considering the last shot of the DCEU is Patrick Wilson eating a cockroach on a burger, I don't think he wants to come back to that anytime soon, which is fine. The man's a great actor. He has plenty of, bargain bin horror crap to be part of, like Insidious the Red Door and Conjuring Last Rites. So, he's a good actor, but maybe doesn't have the best agent. So, yeah, I would love to see them like really go into the 90s look, because they got Jason Momoa. He was like doing the 90s look by having the long hair, by the shoulder strap, all that stuff. And then they just never did anything with that. So I would love to see him like that true blue night, because that's what it was going to be in Justice League Mortal. I would love to see that, like that true like 90s grungy Aquaman if they want to, but yeah. Yeah, Patrick and Juan just kind of want to move on, do whatever they want to do. So, yeah, that's pretty obvious, but, got to touch upon it, of course. So, next thing we have is Superman coming to save the day out of universe, because apparently Peacemaker has really been fucking killing it in terms of viewership rise. So, it seems as though Superman is, even though a lot of people are like, oh, my kid is, my God, my child.
I mean, listen, I do agree that tonality and that rating obviously are extremely different, but HBO has been, and I've shown you and Dan privately, HBO is advertising the shit out of Peacemaker and using Superman as a way to do it. So I could understand, that argument, and because that's exactly what they're doing. They're exploiting the fuck out of Superman in order to draw audiences to Peacemaker, and it seems like it's working.
Yeah, I mean, it's I can see that, but it's also at the same time just got to be more aware of what. You're watching what your kids are watching.
Pay attention to the ratings.
10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are?
Exactly. And again, always pay attention to the ratings and make the right judgment calls for sure.
So, they are using that. According to Samba TV, a company that tracks viewership across television and streaming, is reporting that season 2 of Peacemaker blasted onto HBO Max with 22% more U.S. households tuning in over its first 4 days than the season 1 finale in 2022. However, in their review, they said Peacemaker Season 2 feels like a wholly superfluous addition to the new DCU and lacks the stakes and emotion that made Season 1 so special. Fortunately, it's buoyed by some fun surprises for fans and another exceptional turn from John Cena. Not a heel turn, but, but yeah, I think they are, I just think that this is kind of good to see how they are using the influence, but like obviously be aware, because obviously not a ton of people know who Peacemaker is outside of the fact that like John Cena is playing him, because John Cena is like a man like beyond of like he's a celebrity. So, people are aware of him, not necessarily of the show itself. So just be aware of what people are watching, and there's that. So upper left corner. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? What? I remember that commercial.
I think Elite Easy is referring to the
Yes.
warning
Okay.
on the
Upper level.
radio.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it always
it
starts out,
has
yeah,
like, hey,
TVMA,
this is
yeah.
a warning. Make sure this has like fucking shit tons of nudity, guys. So like, be aware.
You're on Bulge Watch. Woo.
We are on Bulge
Speaking
Watch. I
of, we're
mean,
on it right
we
now.
got fucking John Cena and his tighty whities like right there. Hello. But yeah, we are, we have a lot of stuff in regards to this, but now let's get into the prime level kind of thing. However, before we do, I did want to talk about something. So you've watched the first episode of Peacemaker, right?
I did.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get into kind of spoilers because I did have a theory, and I was too excited to like wait till Thursday. But I was talking about it in a Discord server with some people, like just like a comic book one, and I was like, okay, and this was brought up by somebody else, so this is not mine, but I like definitely 100% agree with it. So what they were saying, they noticed some stuff in regards to the first episode of season 2 that there's some like weird bits and pieces, and their theory is this. And I noticed some stuff too, and I added to the theory a bit. So this is John's theory time. That the reason that, so as we all know, like by the end of the season, there's got to be a moment where like John Cena is like, I can't stay in this world, even though it's perfect. He has to go back to his own world.
I am banking on them kicking him out.
So whatever it is, however, I have a real reason that there's a reason why he leaves, and not like him getting kicked out is because we did see some bits and pieces to it. Is that the perfect world? We find out that the supposedly perfect world is actually a world where the Nazis won World War II.
Oh, okay.
And that like we didn't notice a ton, but that like that's why like everything seems kind of okay, because like we saw some racist connotations with Robert Patrick's character against like imps, and like he kept calling them like munchkins and midgets and stuff like that. So that wasn't, he didn't say anything in regards to like black people or the superior race or anything like that, but like how it seems like some stuff is like more normalized.
See, I will say I didn't feel that way when I heard them say imp, because they use that term for the alien that the Justice Gangs fights in Superman. So that's where my mind went.
That is also the case, but I noticed a couple things. First off, this could be really reaching. It's probably really reaching, but the other person knows, hey, it's interesting how this trio, they're called the Top Trio. Weird name, Top, Superior, Master. Interesting. And they defeated the Rainbow Creature. Interesting. And then I also noticed, because we were talking about this yesterday, that David Denman's superhero name as Keith is Captain Triumph, which is an actual character. It was a character in the Golden Age. Now, me being like knowing the history of film, I remembered something. This is going to be super reaching, but like, please stay with me here. That I don't know if anybody here is aware of, but there is a very popular Nazi propaganda film that is still like watched to this day because of like certain like film techniques. Yeah. What is it called? Triumph of the Will.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you have the character that the only superhero name that we know of is Captain Triumph, and there is that kind of connection there. Now, this could be total bullshit.
Well, no, I mean, so in the alternate universe, he has that picture where he and Harcourt are together, right?
Yes.
And in that picture, she's wearing a very matronly dress, almost like out of season, like too old looking for her age.
Like skirt down to the ankles.
I am following you down this rabbit hole, and I can completely agree that this could potentially be where we're headed for sure.
Yes.
And again, as we know, James Gunn does not enjoy Nazis and likes to punch them as often as humanly possible. So why
That is
wouldn't he
true.
do that? Why wouldn't he do
Exactly.
that?
So, and I also there was a certain something that, again, this could be totally reaching, but I'm just, again, hold on, I have to bring up the
And I
picture.
mean, if that's true, maybe we'll get a GI robot in
I know we met
Peacemaker.
yeah robot, and and a lot of people are saying that Rick.
Wouldn't maybe GI Robot is the thing that gets John Cena that gets Peacemaker to realize what this world is. Maybe GI Robot shows up and he's fighting GI Robot, and GI Robot's like, bro, don't you get it? These are Nazis.
Yeah.
You know? You know?
So that's also an interesting tidbit, and another interesting tidbit I noticed. I'm just gonna share my screen for a
Yes,
second.
trad wife Hallcourt. That's what she looks like.
Exactly.
She's baking sourdough, gang. She's doing nothing but baking sourdough.
So unfortunately I can't bring it up, but like in the actually I will bring it up in the chat, but actually, can I bring it up there? No, I can't. I'm sorry. I'll eventually bring it up, but I found it to be just very, very interesting that in the intro there are a lot of people going like this. Like if you rewatch the dance intro, you have like a bunch of people like kind of going like this, like doing very like Nazi-esque salutes. So obviously this could be total bullshit. It's probably
at this point,
total
now
bullshit.
I'm setting my sights high. I want GI Robot.
I mean, it could be GI
That's
Robot.
where I'm
that
at
could
right now.
that could be the case,
Give
but
me
I'm
GI
just
Robot.
saying it's probably bullshit. And I just want to share that there because I don't know, it's interesting. And also there's the theory that the person that Harcourt is dating is Rick Flag Jr. So I don't know.
Yes.
That's probably because they mentioned
well.
they call him a jarhead. So
yeah, there's definitely going to be an appearance by him for sure.
But anyway, let's get into it's that part's probably coincidence, but there's a lot of other bits that like kind of feed into theory. Anyway, let's move on to the big story of today, and that is talking about, of course, Batman Brave and the Bold. Well, not Batman Brave and the Bold, but Brave and the Bold. But the first thing we're talking about is apparently somebody asked James Gunn, they were like, hey, is Batman going to be associated with the Justice Gang? And then Gunn was like, So here's the thing. So I don't think obviously like I don't think Batman would ever be part of the Justice Gang. However, if they do ever create the Justice League, I think he would be a part of that. But what are your quick thoughts on this? Do you think like Batman would ever join this group?
Obviously we know Batman is part of the Justice League, so I feel like this is almost going to be like an Avengers Thunderbolts kind of situation where you're going to have the A team and the B team, and hilarity ensues. So we'll see what they end up doing with all of that.
Yes. So but yeah, I think it's exciting, but that's not the main story. We got to get into the main story, and that is apparently James Gunn says they're figuring out the DCU Batman. We'll have to see what we're doing with Batman. We're figuring that out. Obviously, we know some basics about where it's going with Batman, but we're also figuring some things out. Everything's fluid.
He's been saying that, though. He's been saying that.
It's just like these comments kind of reminded me of like Kevin Feige with Blade, where it's just like, we're trying to figure this out. It's like, it's a guy who dresses like a bat and punches people. Like, I don't know what's like super, like, I get it. There's like ways you want to do that, but it's just like, we want to see a more compassionate Batman. We don't want to see a lone wolf. We want to see a bat family. Do that. Like compassionate Batman with a bat family. Boom.
Do what you did with Superman. Do it to Batman.
It's just, it's just like, I don't know. It's just like we're trying to figure it out. It's just like, I don't know, like, bro, fucking call me. I can make a script in like 10 minutes and fucking like figure this shit out, because I don't know, it just seems kind of silly to me that it's like, oh my god, we can't figure this fucking thing out. So it's like, okay, why can't you figure it out? Why? You know, it you
Well,
know,
I
he's
think
just
it's tricky though, right? Because all the iterations we've seen of Batman, Batman's been pretty hard. He's been pretty hardcore. He's been pretty stoic. He's been, broody, as we know, again, origin story as it is. And, we just had the Batman, which is like the most emo of the bunch. So I think it's kind of a tricky thing to then all of a sudden kind of pivot, the family man Batman, the compassionate Batman, so I think it's kind of tricky territory. Like, he doesn't want to completely stray away and alienate fans and but at the same time, I also think he doesn't want to pander either. So
I mean, he
gotta,
said they
it's
don't want to do
fluid,
campy
gang. He's got to
Batman.
figure it out.
I mean, I know he says he doesn't want to do campy Batman, which is fine. It's just like, I don't. First of all, I wouldn't mind it. Like, obviously, not like Adam West or Batman and Robin levels, but like, just like something that's like not as like I'm just something in the way. Like, I don't want to fucking see like,
First of all,
fucking Kurt Cobain as Batman. Like, I don't
First
want
of
to.
all,
That's Matt
that
Reeves'
soundtrack was
thing.
perfect for it. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
But I just want to see a Batman who can act, not Alan Richson, and I want to see him compassionate, and I want to see him with a Bat family. I want to see,
You don't
we have
have to
Damian
throw
Wayne.
Alan in
It's
there,
pretty much implied that they're going to be like, yeah, we're getting a late stage Bat family. We'll probably have Nightwing. Jason Todd still probably dead. We might have a Tim Drake. We might have one or two Batgirls and maybe a couple other characters. And it's just like, that's like what I kind of want to see. Like, no, I don't think it's going to be campy. Like, it's not going to be it's not going to be like silly Silver Age.
It'll have elements of camp. Let's be honest.
But like, James Gunn still said he wants to do a darker Batman. So, yeah, I don't know. It just, I don't know. It's just a little strange to me that this is one of those things they like can't figure out. And it's just like, you've seen the iterations that worked in the past, just do something different. And, it's, I don't know. It just feels weird to me. Like something isn't right about this, Yeah. And yes, thank you. We need a non Frank Miller Batman. Like, it's just like, everyone's like, oh, it's got to do Frank Miller. It's just like, Frank Miller is fucking overrated as hell. And so he just needs to fucking stop being the be all and end all. Like, I get it. Year one and Dark Knight Returns were fucking extraordinary, but also look at All-Star Batman and Robin. Look at Dark Knight Strikes Again. Look at Dark Knight Master Race. Those all sucked. And, he's had more bad Batman stories than good Batman stories. He got lucky twice, and I think that's it. So, it's just like, yeah, exactly. I agree, easy. It's just like, it's been Frank Miller for like 35 years, and we just need something a little bit. Well, I mean, like, I don't mind what Elite Easy was saying. Like, I think, yeah, like the 70s Batman, Danny O'Neill, the man who reinvented like half of DC's catalog for the better. Like, what? Yeah, Scott Snyder was good, but the thing is, again, that was more lone wolf Batman for New 52. That was not a lot of Bat family stuff. So, I don't know. It's just like, it's not quite as bad as the whole Blade situation of like, we don't want to be like, have him be in leather and fighting vampires. It's like, that's what we want. That's what we want to see. So it's like, hello. It just feels a little weird that you're like trying to figure this out. It's just like, get a good writer, work with them, just give us something we want to see. Oh, okay. The way you made it sound, I was like, Frank on Wolverine. I thought you were talking about like Frank Castle and Wolverine. Like, I was like, what? I'm like, no, okay, now I get what you're saying. Gotcha. I was like so confused for a second. Matt Fraction? I don't know Matt Fraction. Let me look that up real quick. But I think, yeah, I don't know. It just seems a bit. Oh, he's the guy that's heading the Batman reboot. Got it. But yeah, it's just like this is kind of a weird thing to be like caught up on. So it's like, all right, okay, like, but figure it out. Just Bat Family, compassionate, and give us the blue. God damn it, give us the fucking blue in the suit. Like, I want to see that goddamn blue. I want to see that goddamn blue. I want to not that. I want to see this goddamn blue. Just like give us the blue, even if it has to be navy blue. Just give us the blue. The fucking Flash doesn't count. Fuck that terrible suit. I want to see the blue. Maybe not sky blue, but like navy blue if you have to. But like, I want to see the blue. God damn it! Everyone wants to see the blue. James, give us the blue. Okay, Bluey is popular, so give us the blue. Okay. Yeah, I think I mean, he even said, like, we're getting Damian Wayne as Robin. So it's pretty much like, yeah, it's going to be loosely inspired by the Grant Morrison run. So, you know, like, that's, yeah, like, no shit. But yeah, that's kind of it in regards to the whole Batman scenario. Just like, yeah, it just feels a little weird that they like can't seem to figure out a Batman movie. It's like we got like 16 interpretations over the years. Like I think you guys can probably figure it out what not to do and what to do. But you know, we do have a little bit of one more just to kind of a nicer note to end on. But look at this boy right here. Look at this boy. Just Crypto being the goodest boy possible and the picture worth 1,000 memes. Love to see it. Yeah, I get that. I understand that, but like I think people like we had like the DCEU and Gotham going on at the same time. I think people could fucking figure it out. For both of you, would you rather have Damien as a teenager, 17 or 18, or a 13-year-old, somewhere in the middle? I don't want to super old Damian Wayne because then we would be getting like a super old Batman, but like maybe like 15 to 16 because obviously you can't do too young because that might be a little like annoying with the child labor laws and like it might be a little bit too much for like a kid to like witness.
Too heavy, yeah.
Doing a lot of like stunts and stuff, so it's a lot. So I would want someone who's like maybe like 14 to 16. Damian Wayne. Well, considering Reeves takes fucking 10 years to write a goddamn script, that's gonna fucking take a while. So they shouldn't just do both. I agree. But I don't are you familiar with Damian Wayne by any chance?
I know of the character, but not that familiar, no.
Okay, but do you love this meme?
Yeah.
I just love the perfect face of Crypto. It honestly looks like straight up looks like a real.
I mean,
dog
quite
here,
frankly,
like,
whoever captured this still is a wonderful person, and I'd like to know them because it's just.
I've already seen so many memes of this. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, you know, there's like, yeah, exactly. There's like 10 Spider-Man running around. It's fine. It's fine. We got it. Like if people could figure out Beyond the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Brand New Day are two different movies, and they could fucking figure this shit out. You know, Crypto going full Cucho. Yeah, I could see that, but like I don't think they're gonna introduce Robin anytime soon. He's just too young.
Yeah.
Well, he's supposed to be too young, even though Robert Pattinson is pushing 40 at this point. But
what if it's Vic back from the dead?
Don't make Dan come his pants. You know. But that's it. Not a ton of DC stuff today. You know, it's just like it was mainly the Batman thing, and I kind of wanted to talk about that, but a couple other things as well.
Yeah.
But don't worry, guys, we're not totally over because, guys, today's Tuesday. Well, technically not anymore. It's on the East Coast, it's Wednesday. But for what today represents, it's Tuesday. You know, we're gonna get into tier list Tuesdays.
Oh, damn.
We're gonna have a tier list Tuesday. We're gonna be ranking Green Lantern characters, not adaptations of characters, the characters themselves in the comics. We're gonna be ranking them. I'm probably gonna piss some people off. But yes, One more thing, and there he is. There he is.
Just for you, Dan. I just threw it out there. Why not?
But yeah, absolutely, very much wonderful. And but yeah, we're gonna be ranking. We're going from Alan Scott to Joe Mullen. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, so it's not totally over. So you're gonna be getting another hour, and it's gonna be me and Dan because unfortunately Liz doesn't know a ton about Green Lantern characters, which is fine. Which is fine.
I know who Guy Gardner is now.
Right.
I like that guy.
Well, and you know Hal Jordan because he was
I know Hal
Ryan
Jordan.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
Also,
don't know that I want to know him
by the way,
yet,
this was the thing I was talking about in the Peacemaker intro.
And
where
that's
it's like,
fair, dude. That's fair.
that's kind of Nazi-esque. I'm just saying.
Fair.
Anyway.
But I will be back tomorrow.
Sorry, Anthony. I'm gonna read your comment now.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, John, does this sound ridiculous? I'm having a gut feeling that with the popularity of crypto, not
100%.
C but K, I think we're gonna see Ace the Bat Hound and Damien's dog Titus.
Yeah.
I could see that happening. You know what? But here's the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I want to see? Ace the Bat Hound would be good. Titus could be good. The real bat family animal I want to see is Bat Cow. We're getting Damien. I want to see Bat Cow. I want to see Bat Cow. God damn it! Give me Bat Cow. Yes, Elite Easy. Yes, you know what's up. Bat Cow,
we got
Bat Cow.
So let's have Bat Cow. I'm for it.
Yes. Yeah, we love. You can help us judge. What do you mean by that, M2G?
I appreciate you. He's talking about Tier List Tuesday. I appreciate that, M2G, but I am going to go. I will be back tomorrow. I'm also going to be back Thursday. Now, gang, I'm getting my nails done Thursday. If you would like me to get a specific color, super chat us tomorrow, and I will get that color of choice Thursday.
Sorry. You should get, like, for one nail should be silver, one red, one yellow, one white, one blue for Peacemaker.
I could do Peacemaker nails. My Superman nails were kind of Peacemaker nails, but again, I'm going to throw that out there. You've got,
although you do have green for Green Lantern, and you're wearing a green shirt, so
you've got approximately 12-ish hours. No, a little more than that. You've got some time to think about it. But again,
no, we don't talk about Bat Cow like that. No,
that's not nice.
He's the one cow you don't kill for meat. Like that's the one. That's the one.
Would
I'll go PETA
Demon.
on that. Well, not PETA because PETA wants to kill animals, but that's beside the point.
Really tough meat on that one. But like I said, see y'all tomorrow night. Throw it in the super chat, and I will paint my nails whatever color you want.
Yes, but I did want to, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for, the DCU Daily Show. But obviously, as I said, we're not done yet because we are going to be getting into Tier List Tuesday with Dan. So get pumped for that. And just as we were blessed from the start, let us be blessed at the end.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see chorus.
Right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka hunka!
Fuck Jeff